Happy Thursday, everybody. Hello, hello. Please say hello in the comments so I know that you're there. Know that I'm not just talking to myself. Today, one of my favorite topics, local SEO. Good morning, Miss Piper. Hello, Miss Herbert. Hello, Miss Lozen. Hello, Miss Vanderpool. Awesome. Love to see everybody here. We are on day 5 of the 12 days of Christmas. And today's all about local SEO. Things that I don't think enough people are talking about this, and definitely not taking action on helping their business rank higher on Google. Like, if there's anywhere that you want to have visibility, it's on Google. Good morning, Miss Lance. Good morning, Mr. Moyle. Awesome to see you guys. Okay, you guys know the deal. You know the drill. For those of you that have been on these before, they are quick 30 minutes. Going to give you some action items, going to give you some gifts as well. Over the course of these 12 days of Christmas, I'm sharing 12 critical marketing strategies to make sure that you are taking into 2024. A lot of you are going to be doing your 2024 planning, and I want to make sure that this is top of mind. So day number 5, man, we've already covered a lot of ground, right? We laid the marketing foundations. We talked about building a strong brand. We talked about the social media strategies you should be implementing, and we're going to dive deeper when we get into content creation. We have an entire session on content creation. Yesterday was all about email and text message. I gave you guys a re-engagement campaign that you could send out, put together 2 emails for you. And then today is all about being a local legend, SEO tactics to become 5-mile famous. Please participate, ask questions in the comments. I will do my best to make sure I get to them. If you're watching the replay, same thing, ask away and I will get back to it. Each day, we're learning a little bit more about Chris. So my martial arts journey started on March 15th, 1993. Still remember the day. My mom picked me up from school. We're in the car rider line. I get in the car and she goes, "You want to try karate?" And I said, yes. And that was that day. It was did an intro lesson with an instructor named Mr. Chin, took me through some calisthenics, took me through some stretching. They actually had a little intro card that they filled out, and you got rated an A, a B, or a C. I remember as a kid feeling like, man, I want to see what he's writing down. And that was at a Junri Institute of Taekwondo school. And that's where my martial arts journey began. And I trained there from age 8 all the way to age 21. I went through the full customer journey cycle, became an instructor. And, this really laid the foundation for me as a martial artist, as well as a business owner, because Taekwondo schools, especially a Junri Institute of Taekwondo, it operated very differently than BJJ schools did back in the late 90s and early 2000s. So always very grateful for the foundation that Taekwondo gave me. And then eventually I fell in love with BJJ. So that's a little bit about me. Your action step from yesterday was to set up a database reactivation campaign, either the magic email or the re-engagement campaign. We talked about potentially scheduling it out in the new year, especially if you guys are going to be closed over the holiday break. And we dropped the Google Drive link to where you could access this PDF in the comments. So if you didn't grab that, go back to day 4. All of these live videos are labeled, and you can find it in the comments over there, okay? It gave you instructions, tried to make this as plug and play as possible. Obviously, there's a couple of things you'll need to do in terms of editing to make sure that it's in line with what your offer is and your calendar and things like that. So your website is literally the cornerstone of your online visibility and your Google rankings. And when somebody goes to Google and is actively searching for martial arts near me, that's typically the keyword search terms that they would use: martial arts near me, or martial arts in their specific city, maybe even their sub community, right? I talk often about how, yes, we're in Tampa, right? That's our address is Tampa, Florida, but we're actually located next to West Chase, Citrus Park, Town and Country, Carrollwood. And these are kind of smaller communities located inside of Tampa. And the goal is when somebody is searching martial arts near me and they're within, an X amount mile radius, and the mile radius is really dependent on the demographics and the saturation of your area, right? There are millions of people in Tampa and that might not be true for you. So you might want to go 7 miles or 9 miles, where for me, really 4 to 5 is kind of the max because of rush hour traffic and just how saturated it is here, right? So the goal is to appear at the top of the search when people are searching on Google. And Google is really where your today buyers are. Like if I am searching on Google, it's because I have an intent, right? If I'm scrolling on Facebook and I see your Facebook ad, I'm not actively searching for a martial arts school. And because of this, Google is really where, your hottest online leads can come from. And in order for people in your community to find your listing, you have to optimize your listing for rankings. And there's 3 places you can show up on Google's SERP, which is their search engine results page. Number 1 is at the very top with Google Ads, right? And that's a pay to play. You got to put money behind it. Number 2 is in the 3-pack with Google Maps. And in order to show up there, the person has to be near your school. So if they're like 30 miles away from your school, even if your, listing is optimized, you're not going to populate unless there's just absolutely no martial arts schools around. So the location of the person that is searching plays a role into whether or not you're going to show up in that 3-pack, which is where the Google Maps are. And then the third place you can show up is organically with SEO. And in some cases, if you have optimized, like your YouTube channel and somebody's searching for it, potentially one of your YouTube videos could show up when they search. So those are the 3 places that you can populate. And in order to do that, you got to make sure, 1, that you got a really great website. And, we do pretty much everything over here at GrowPro with the exception of websites. Leave that to the professionals. We love friends over market muscles. Website needs to have a few, like the design and the user experience, which in the website world, you call that the UX, right? Is super important. It needs to be clean. It needs to be mobile friendly. It needs to be quick. Okay. And if you are not using one of the industry standard websites, more than likely site speed is an issue. More than likely it's not mobile friendly. And just the user experience in itself isn't super great. Okay. You also want to make sure that the website helps you generate leads. This is so important that the website has the ability to capture leads, name, email, and phone number, and that contact form is front and center. We talked about this on day 1 with laying the foundations. That opt-in form should also give you the ability to segment your list so you know what is this person interested in. Is it kids martial arts, teen martial arts, adult martial arts? And typically you are going to do some form of an ethical bribe, meaning they give you the contact information. You are going to give them a lead magnet or access to the schedule or access to a coupon code for a promotion. Okay. Now, there is like technical button pushing things that need to happen on the website in order for the user experience to be really great and also in order for it to rank, right? We got to have local keywords integrated in the copy on the pages of your website. There needs to be your location in the title heading. There needs to be meta descriptions and headers. You should embed Google Maps on your contact page. And this is why, there's a lot of like technical aspects of it that in your business, you're always going to have to decide to pay one of 2 ways with your time and your energy or your money. And I'd rather just pay a website company to be able to handle that for me. Okay. So your website is the cornerstone. It really starts with that. And if you are not currently ranking well, you really need to audit your website. Okay. So we talked about the 3 different places that you can show up. and how the website's the cornerstone, but your Google business profile is one of the most important aspects of your online presence and whether or not you're going to be ranking on Google. It's probably the one platform that receives the least amount of attention from school owners. And I just don't think enough school owners really understand the impact, because even if you have like Google business messages set up, what most people do is they see your listing and they're either going to call you or they are going to go to the website and opt in then. Okay. But they wouldn't have found your listing unless, you're ranking well. So there are a few things that you can do to ensure that you do show up in Google's 3-pack. And day one, we talked about NAP, name, address, phone number. Okay. Inside of your Google business profile, you should optimize it for keywords that people are using. So what are the words that people would potentially type into Google to try and find your martial arts school? And you want to build that into the profile. Not a lot of people know you can actually post on Google business profile the same way you can post on your social media channels. And posting on there helps to keep the listing relevant and can help for higher ranking. I would recommend setting up whatever your normal monthly offer is. So like right now, if you're doing a Christmas themed offer or a holiday theme offer, you can have offers on your listing. And one of the things that I think is a big area that most school owners miss is that on your Google business profile, you can set up products. And as martial arts school owners, our mind immediately goes to like merchandise when we think products, but a product can actually be a paid trial. So if you do like 4 weeks for $49 or 2 weeks for $29, you can set that up under products, and people that see your listing would be able to purchase paid trials from your listing as well, because you can link in a checkout page. So don't dismiss products and think like, oh, I'm not going to put headgears and shin guards on there. You can absolutely put your paid trial. One thing that you should also be doing on a minimum of a quarterly basis, we do it for our clients on a monthly basis, is uploading new pictures. Okay. Uploading pictures that showcase what's going on in your school, that are going to speak to your avatar. And this is especially important if you've done recent upgrades in your school or if you've moved locations. But the thing that moves the needle the most, while all of those are important, the thing that is the most important, that will weigh heavier in terms of your ranking than anything else on the list, are your Google reviews. Okay, so the reviews and your responses to them. So this is a heat map. This is an example of a client that we started working with that signed up for our Google Business Amplifier program. And we searched for martial arts near me. And when they first started with us, what this shows is where on Google's search engine results page the school was populating if somebody searched for martial arts near me. So it's a little hard to see because it's like a lighter pink right here, but in the middle, there's a little pin drop, and that's the location of the school. So what this means is if somebody was over here by the orange 14 and they were searching martial arts near me, that 14 is telling us that that school would populate 14 sections down on Google. You want to be number 14 or you want to be number 1, right? Now, over here to the right, this was after 30 days of us optimizing their Google business profile. We manage the profile. We're in there every week, updating it. And this is what it looked like 30 days later. So now when that person is standing right next to that pinpoint and they search martial arts near me, they're now coming up number 1, right? And the goal is we want to be number 1, as far out as we want to be willing to accept students. So this is a great example, is another really great example of somebody that started working with us and very quickly, 30, 60, 90 days, being able to have them really rank top 1, 2, and 3 in the areas that are most important to them. And this is the power of optimizing and managing your Google business profile. And if it's not something you want to do, it's something we can do for you. Okay. So your online reviews are mission critical. I told you it was the thing that moves the needle the most. And what I want you to do is really try to aim for triple digit reviews. Okay. Triple digit reviews is really going to put you in just a different league, because most schools are around probably that 10 to 15. And I've done multiple trainings, which you can find on our website, growproagency.com/webinars. I've done multiple webinars on how you can hit triple-digit Google reviews, but this will impact your Google rankings the most. And it is a major conversion factor. And it really gives you the at-bat first, right? You might not get the enrollment, but you'll get the at-bat first. And it's just really interesting how, just online reviews in general have evolved over the last, decade. Before, 10, 15 years ago, you might not trust an online review. Now you go to Amazon, the first thing you do is scroll down when you want to purchase something and you look at the reviews. Before you go buy a book, what do? Look at the reviews. Before you go watch a movie, what do? You go look at the reviews. 84% of people trust an online review, and 77% of consumers think that reviews that are more than 3 months old aren't relevant. So this is a mistake that a lot of school owners make is, they'll watch a training like this and they're like, okay, I'm going all in on Google reviews, and they'll get an influx of Google reviews because it's top of mind. They're really pushing it on their students and their list. And then they forget about it, which is why it's important to implement systems to consistently get Google reviews, which is what I went over in those webinars that I've done before. Okay. So this is the thing that moves the needle the most. If you're not ranking, yes, we want to make sure that we're doing these other things, but the thing that moves the needle the most are the Google reviews. So let's talk quickly about 5 principles for online reviews, okay? You have to provide world-class customer experience if you want people giving you 5-star Google reviews, okay? I want you to think like Disney. Okay. The best way to bankrupt a bad business is good marketing. So we got to make sure we have a world-class customer experience. We also want to build getting Google reviews into your school's culture, right? We want anytime that a parent comes up to our program director and they, tell the parent something positive about, Johnny was struggling in school and now he's getting all A's and B's, or we were struggling at home with, talking back and now he's being respectful. Anytime somebody says something positive, you need to make sure your team has the ability and the script to be able to convert that into a Google review by simply asking, right? I've never asked somebody for a Google review and they said no. They might not have done it or done it immediately, but they're not going to say no, okay? The other thing is what you measure improves. So you've got to inspect what you expect. So if you're doing a hard push for triple-digit reviews, every single team meeting you have week to week, you need to be inspecting where your Google reviews are. If you're not bringing it up and it's not top of mind, it's not something that your team is going to be pushing. So highlight it during team members and set a goal for the team to hit. So, hey guys, we're at 20 Google reviews. If we hit 100 Google reviews, we're all going to go to dinner and a movie together, right? You take your team out for helping you accomplish that. You can very easily leverage automations, so you can use your CRM to request reviews after classes or events or appointments. But this also could tempt the person to leave a negative review if they didn't have a great experience. So it's just something to consider, that if you do automate it, this goes back to making sure our students are having world-class experiences every time they walk through. And then you also want to make sure you acknowledge and respond to every review. So put a system in place that every review gets tracked and that somebody on the team is responsible for responding to that review, okay? One of the things that is going to help you kind of, embed this in your culture is when a parent does leave a Google review, you're going to respond online. But when you see them in person, thanking them, because other people are going to hear that and they're going to want to spread that reciprocity as well. Okay. So because Google reviews are the things that is the one thing that moves the needle the most. Like I said, these other things, the NAP, keyword optimization, posting, monthly reviews, having, a product on your profile, like a paid trial, uploading new pics. Those are all very important. But the thing that moves the needle the most is the Google reviews. So your action item, because one of the easiest and most simplistic ways for you to increase your Google reviews is just to have a Google review flyer inside of your school. So my gift to you today is a Canva template. Now, it has our school logo, it has our QR code, and it's utilizing our branded flyer. But I'm going to give this to you as a template link so that if you wanted to go in and edit it and change it to your own colors, you could, okay? So in order for you to get the link to the QR code, you just need to go to your listing on Google, and you need to be signed in as whatever the profile is. And when you do that, so let me just pull it up. Here's Gracie Packs. So I typed in Gracie Pack MMA. I'm logged into the appropriate Google account. If I go to read reviews, I get this little pop-up in the top right corner. I get more reviews. When you click on that, it's going to give you this review link. And that review link is what you want to give to people when you want them to give you a review. Now, in order to turn it into a QR code, if you just Google QR code generator, there's going to be a bunch of them that pop up. Some of them are freemium tools. So that means like certain aspects of it are free, but then you have to pay a premium. With a lot of the QR codes that are freemium, so just do your research, they will only allow a certain number of scans. So like after 10 people scan the QR code is no longer in existence. So just make sure you read the fine print on there. But, you know, something like QR code generator, really easy. I click on it. And what I do is I just enter the website. So I'm going to put the website here, and it generates the QR code that I can download. Okay. Now, I do believe QR code generator is going to limit the amount of scans. So you might want to look at, you know, what it costs to sign up. It's very, very cost effective. But then you download that QR code, and then you can put your QR code on your Canva file. So giving you that to make it really easy, and then just put this in, you know, a very obvious place. I mean, if you can afford to do a large poster printout, it's a great idea. Putting it on the stalls inside of the bathroom are a great idea. We have it on the front desk of our lobby, which is front and center. So right when you walk in, you got to walk to the front desk so everybody sees it. If you have a seating area, one Maya client, I thought this was a really great idea. They printed it and laminated it and put it on the backs of the chairs that were in the lobby. So if I'm sitting down and there's another chair in front of me, I can see that flyer and I can scan the QR code. So that is my gift for you. But there's another gift. If you are interested in seeing what your heat map ranking is, so we call this a heat map ranking. This is actually the one for Gracie Pack MMA. As you can see, we're ranking #1 in the immediate areas inside of Tampa where we're located. I'd be happy to get and send over a free heat map ranking. This actually costs GoPro money every single time we run a heat map ranking. So I'm willing to invest that to help you figure out where you are ranking. We'll utilize the key terms martial arts near me. And all you have to do is just email chris@groproagency.com. And I just need you to give me your school name and your address. School name alone isn't enough. It needs to be school name and address. And I will have the team shoot over the heat map ranking. And you can just put free heat map ranking in the subject line, and we can get that over. So we got 2 gifts for you today. Does anybody have any questions? We got about 5 minutes before we start wrapping up. Tomorrow, which is the last day of the week, and then we're going to pick back up on Monday. I'll give you guys the weekend off. Tomorrow's all about creating a content factory. So earlier this week, when we went over social media strategies, I told you we are going to do one session specific to just creating content. And I'm going to give you 9 steps that streamlines your efforts. We're really going to be talking about video content, reels. This is what is moving the needle the most. I'm going to give you a step-by-step on exactly how we do it so that you can implement it. But you guys got some homework, okay? You got some homework. You got to optimize your Google business listing. If you haven't done that, you need to audit your website if you're not ranking well. And like I said earlier, the thing that moves the needle the most with your Google business profile are your Google reviews. So your action item is to click on that Canva link in the comments and edit the Google review flyer. Make sure you change out the logo and the QR code. If you don't change out the QR code, they're going to be giving me 5-star Google reviews, which I don't mind. And, if you are getting a lot of value out of this session and the 12 days of Christmas, feel free to, look up GrowPro Agency on Google and give us, a 5-star Google review as well. So I'm not seeing any other questions come through the channel. I'll just leave it open for about another 30 seconds or so. And again, if you guys are watching the replay and you have questions, put them in the comments. We'll get back to you. But you have your action item, you have your gifts. Let's get to work. I'll see you guys back tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. for day number 6, all about content creation. We'll be halfway through the 12 days of Christmas. Really enjoying my time with you guys. Appreciate those of you that are showing up live, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.